Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, you can catch me right here each and every day, Monday through Friday, or whenever I'm available. You know the time is 5 to 6 p.m. We talk about everything business, legal, social, whatever we need to talk about to keep you informed in this city, we will do it. Welcome, 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 welcome. I, I hope that you can hear me. Give me a call or let me know. Again, I apologize for the inconvenience that we had there for a minute, but I'm getting the thumbs up from my wife. Is telling me it's okay. I just want to make sure that you hear me out there on the word, well, I can't get together there. The World Wide Web. Give me a call. Maybe it's because I've been preoccupied on some things today, and maybe that's the reason. But you know what we do here: business, legal, social, whatever affects you, it affects me, and we need to be concerned about you as well as me, uh, because this is a terrible situation that we are in. Everybody's doing what they can do. We are communicating with each other, trying to let each other know that there's a problem in this city. But it is open conversation today. And whatever you want to talk about, feel free to talk about. I want to throw this out to you. Let me know, above all things that are happening in the city of Memphis, what really bothers you. Well, I can tell you the education system is uh, on the bunk, as we would call it, the bunk. Uh, the crime is still alive and well in the city. I understood what Fannie Lou Hamer meant when she said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that is so true. If I listen over and over again by the mistake that the city council made in regard to the turbines and as regard to the AI system, it's going to be devastating, I believe, just like it was in North Memphis when they buried all of those chemicals in the ground. Uh, South Haven is having a problem. They are meeting in regard to those turbines as well. It seems as though any and everything can go on in this city in the past, and we really didn't care about what's going on from crime uh, to these elected officials that we are putting in office that are really not doing anything to help you. And that's what I do. What I do, I come here every day, not because of me. I come here because of you and the concern that we have in this city. Election, I'm gonna keep talking about it. It's your chance to change the way things are going politically in this city. I still say when we look at some of our elected officials, what's good for the goose and sometimes is good for the gander. We really do. I have to keep saying we have a problem here. And we need, as the people in this city, we ought to be the one that's really concerned to make sure that this thing gets situated. We have politicians saying that uh, things are not right. And I talk to some of them, and they tell me, "You're right. You're on the money. That is the problem." But how do we fix the problem? We supposed to fix the problem by way of the people that we are electing. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll keep hearing me saying that it's about the paycheck. It's about the position. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about them. And how do we correct that? We correct that by getting the ones that don't care about you or themselves because what they are not doing in the long detrimental for to them and for us. We got candidates out here now that's better than most. And I'm going to be looking, I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to be telling you about these individuals that we have in office that really don't care about you. But like I said, it's open conversation. I never get tired of pointing out these so-called leaders in our community that's supposed to be representing us, but they're not representing us. Crime is still alive and well. Uh, the task force, we commend them for what they have done thus far, but we get other people like the mayor is taking, uh, saying that they are moving forward. Well, without the individual first responders and the people who came in to help us, we would still be in this situation that we're in. Now, I'm looking around and I don't see as many uh, state troopers that I was seeing, nor am I seeing uh, many of the individuals that were here for about 3 or 4 weeks, but they're here. We see uh, not as many, but we see that they are here. And you can't be everywhere all the time when you're trying to stop crime. You can't do it. But what the effort you put forward, we can see what you're doing. And we are grateful, at least I am, for the task force and what they have been doing. And I always say, I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican or independent. If you're out there doing things or attempting to do things that make it better, then you're better than most. For those who sit home and say, there's no reason to vote, then you're letting yourself down. And I'm here to encourage you to say to you that it's time for you to get up off the couch and do something. If you didn't vote in the last election, you need to vote in this one. Our school system is in chaos. Uh, I am looking forward to the forensic audit finding, and I'm also looking forward to them taking over. And see, it's not about the politicians and their position. I hope that forensic audit tells us what the Speaker of the House has already said, that he's seen some mismanagement that concerns him, and they're going to try to move forward uh, to the takeover. And that's a problem. If we just sit back and let this continue to happen. A lot of people complain about the old school and how old school uh, is gone and no more uh, leadership for them. But I say to you, that's the false one. Because as you call it, the old school, we didn't have as much stealing. And I said that because when we look at $77.7 million missing, and nobody in this administration want to look into it. Why not? Is it because some of that $77.7 million went into people's pocket, and one administration is covering up, in my opinion, for the previous administration? Paul Young, you have a duty to the people of the city of Memphis to tell them what happened to that money. You have a duty to look into the transit authority and say to those individuals, 3 different administrations over there, $60 million missing, and nobody has gone to jail. You know, it's funny, and I put this on my Facebook page. Edmund Ford Jr. is in federal court, is about to be sentenced for something he admitted doing. Well, look at it. In the transit authorities, there's no doubt that money has been abused, money was taken for trips and lavish spot treatments, and all on the taxpayer. But nobody has been charged. Have you all thought about that? Nobody has been charged from the abuse and the misuse of taxpayer money at the transit authority. Why not? A crime is a crime. A thief is a thief. Why haven't the Attorney General's office or why haven't any investigation? No, you looked into it as an investigation by local media and found out that there has been some terrible abuse. But nobody has been arrested. Why? That's my question to you. Call me at 901-288-5779. Call me and let me know why, in your opinion, you think that no one has been arrested in the misuse and the abuse of the $60 million over at the Memphis Transit Authority. We won't be long today. We'll be a short day, a real short day. We figured out the kinks that wouldn't function. And Brother Green, thank you so much for letting me know that you hear me. And the reason why they are not saying anything about because they have their hands in the cookie jar. I believe that, Brother Green. I believe that. But Brother Green, let me ask you, and to all of you all out there, tell me just like Brother Green did here. Tell me why those people, and it's been widely known that those individuals was abusing the money. Three different administrations was it so easily to take the money, and why haven't people been charged? As I said earlier, crime is a crime. Uh, are you saying to me that in the federal government you can get caught, but in the state government you won't do anything about it? If Edmund Ford Jr. has been charged in federal court, why haven't those individuals, past and present, no matter what position it is, how come they have not been charged? Or is it something working that they will end up being charged? I don't care how much it was, how less it was. But if you put it in charge over running a department of the city or a transit authority or the advertisement, um, why? Why do you think uh, the reason why they not charged, saying anything about it because they have their hands in the cookie jar? I say their excuses. Uh, I just want to know that because it is just excuses, one excuse after another. But why haven't these people been charged? Because no one is holding people accountable, and I believe that. Why not? It is our job, Brother Green, to hold the people accountable. And everybody say, well, if you don't like me and you don't like what I'm doing, don't vote for me. No, but the thing about it, yeah, we gonna do that in this election. But you stole money. You literally stole money from the transit authority, and it was proven. It was investigated. Why have the DA for Mulroy, have they not brought it to his office? Have they not investigated to the fullest? You found out that three administrations over there was misusing, and use the term, I use the term misusing uh, money. That's stealing. I don't care what you call it or what you don't call it. That is stealing all day long. I used to see people in the courtroom taking money from businesses. I've even seen people who failed to make a deposit for Kentucky Fried Chicken and were the manager and was charged. So if you the head of the transit authority and you abuse the money, you should be charged. That is stealing, nothing else but stealing. Why is it? See, the thing I believe, Brother Green and others who's listening, when you put in charge of a position where you're dealing with taxpayers' money, where you're supposed to be a leader and you fail to do that. If you apply and you're a superintendent who comes in and basically, in my opinion, when you're giving money to individuals that don't deserve it or have a program that don't have enough people to run, you make sure they get the state money, county money, city money, whatever. And you know not they're not qualified, then to me that is abuse of your power. That is abuse of the taxpayers' money, and you should be charged. You better believe that anybody that I'm talking to that's not in a political position do what they have been doing over at the transit authority, you will be arrested. You will be charged. But when are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up and say we got to hold people accountable in this city? I'm Jenny Bernard. You're listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. And you should be concerned. The only way that you're going to stop this abuse of taxpayer dollars is to step up to the plate. You know, when I talk about the hotel, people want to shine that off the hotel that we bought, the citizen, and then it's going to be worked, and they'll place the individual right now to redesign over. But look at the background of the individual. See if he a kappa. This is the problem we have. We have organization personnel that being put in place because they are part of an organization. And tell me I'm wrong. Paul Young, you came on this show when you was running for mayor. You didn't have an agenda. Then you didn't come back. You wanted the people to hear you on this show. Come on back. Let's sit down. And let's ask the tough question. What are you not doing as opposed to what you're supposed to be doing? Ladies and gentlemen, it's just something terribly wrong with this city. From the Memphis Police Department to City Hall and every other entity in this community that is taking place and nothing is being done. I want to know, and I want you to ask the question. If you ever at another town hall meeting, ask the question, why is $77.7 million is missing? How come you didn't do your own investigation before you took over City Hall? These are the questions that the people want to know. It's not just something that I want to know. I want to know it. But then people say to me all the time, I hear you, and you're talking about that $77.7 million that was publicly put out there to say that it's missing. But why is it that Paul Young don't want to address that? Is it because he was told not to address it? Is it because he was told to buy a hotel and then turn it over after a certain period of time to the Carlisle Group? Why are you not saying anything about that? That's your money. That's your tax dollar. You ought to get angry about the abuse of the leadership that we have in the city of Memphis. And believe me, worldwide, people are shaking their head, wondering what are these people doing in Memphis, Tennessee. It don't have to be worldwide with me. I'm here locally, and I'm asking the question. We have to continue to ask the question. I called my representative, Commissioner Beard, to give me a call 4 or 5 days ago. I haven't received that call. So I know what I have to do. when it comes to her or anybody else that represents me and you, and they think they're above giving a call back. And people will tell you, well, I got so many thousands of people in my district, I can't call everybody. You may not, but you need to call some of the people. Well, you don't want to call them because you maybe know the question that they're going to ask. And the question, you on the county commission, Bill, you there, and it's been floating around that the 200+ million for COVID relief. What happened to the money? You supposed to be asking those questions on behalf of the people, but it seems as though you are not concerned because you haven't called me back, and we calling you out. I'm gonna call you out every day until you call me or you don't call me. I'm going to call you out. You wanted the position. You sit there in that chair, supposed to be representing the people, but you can't call your people back. If it's too many people for you to call, then you need to step out of the chair and let someone else who really has the concern about what's going on in the county as well as the city and the state. What are our state people doing? They're going there and doing absolutely nothing. I know their hands are tied. But see, you have to have the negotiation skills to go there and say, look, I represent District so and so. We need relief in this district. But see, you don't go along to get along. You try to explain to me, and I'm not one for you to try to explain how state government works or how county government works or city government. I know it. I've been around it most of my adult life. So you can't sell a bag, bag of cookies that's been sitting on your shelf for a long time. And when you get there and you go to ask them questions, and somebody say, well, you don't need to ask those questions. You don't need to get tied up in that because that's been going on for a long time. And if you want to stay in this chair, you need to leave it alone. That's happening, ladies and gentlemen. And when people do that, that you have elected, and they fall in that groove with the people telling them not to represent you, then those individuals have not just one district, they have several districts. If they're telling you that and you fall for it, you're supposed to be different from anybody else in your representation of your people. You're supposed to be different. You're supposed to go and represent the people the best you can. But we don't do that because we want to stay in the system. We want to get reelected and we want to move from that seat to another seat. And they're pimping. You hear me? They are pimping you. They're no more better than a pimp who pimp prostitutes, but they are pimping you politically. They are political pimps, and you allow them to take your money, they take your pride, they take your dignity, because all of that, when they don't represent you, they're taking all of that, and you give it away. That was something my grandmother used to say, and I quote her a lot. Because I stayed in the kitchen talking to her, playing when I wasn't playing ball or whatever, and watched her cook. And she used to always say to me, grandson, and she said, Sonny, that's what they call me. She said, never let anyone take your dignity, your pride, or your respect for yourself. And I lived to that. I will stand tall. I will say what most people don't want to say. And we have a problem. They said what's going on right now is the controller are following the dollar because they are a war. that and have, I can't see it's so small. But they split it, and basically what Green is saying, and I agree. I'm gonna have to see if I can get my computer guy to blow up uh, these letters, these comments, because they are very small and I can't see most of them. But anyway, I really appreciate you for listening. It's gonna be a short day today. It seems as though we are good and we okay now. Uh, but on tomorrow we will start out fresh. But I want to give you these 25 minutes that we have had today with you. Uh, don't forget, in the words of my grandmother, she used to always say, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we'll see you on tomorrow. But I always say, trust, and this applies to the elected officials that's supposed to be representing you. Trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside. You've been listening to a bridged portion of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. It's left up to you, ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do when it comes to the election? We need to go out and support. I will be out tomorrow supporting a candidate that I really truly believe that will do a great thing in the position that he's running for. And I can probably tell you, I support this man running for the school board. I know this man, been knowing him for years. You know him, and I'm talking about Dr. Frederick Tappan. Uh, he's been a radio personality on 990. Did a great job over there. He was the chaplain. We worked together for the same government, the sheriff department. He worked for him in the jail. I worked as a deputy. We used to see each other day to day and had deep conversation about and concern and love for the city. So I ask you, when the election comes, uh, to support Dr. Frederick Tappan, and he will be one that stand tall because he's an individual. Don't have to take the lead as it relates to people telling him what he should and should do. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. Brother Green, I appreciate you uh, for making these comments. Uh, the lettering is a little smaller, but we're going to see if we can make the font a lot bigger. Let me put it like that. Ladies and gentlemen, you all take care. I appreciate you being patient with me. As always, subscribe and share this with your neighbors on Facebook. I'm Jenny Bernard. You take care. Have a great evening. Thank you.